Um,
Okay, now we're recording. Let's begin. Hi, Janie.
hey Gail, good to see you. Happy new moon.
Happy
And
solar eclipse, new moon in
solar eclipse,
Aries
new moon in
today
Aries.
on April 19th, 2023.
That was a good slip.
Yeah,
I wasn't born
19,
back then, thank goodness.
2023.
2023.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's a change is afoot. Change is happening. So this is New Earth Lifestyles, where we will be discussing, maybe channeling, discussing changes that are happening in the cosmos, changes happening in my life, in your life, in the lives of others, and how, well, whatever direction that takes us in, we're going with the flow. This is a go with the flow. So for my life, I'll just say quickly, my life is shifting drastically in this moment because I am needing to move out of my place that I've been living at for 3.5 years and change. So change is big, and I'm not really upset about it because I know the universe will provide. The universe brought me to this place and has been bringing me to all the different places. When I traveled around the country, I've been safe. So I really trust that I'll be okay. So yeah, life is good. So how about you,
How are you
Gail?
feeling about surrendering into that?
Yeah, I am surrendering into it, and I feel it as I pack up and put things in storage. It just opens the ethers and the airwaves and the movement of energy, so that what I'm looking for will show up easier. And yeah, and this change is happening all around us. In this moment here with me and with you and everywhere in the cosmos, and the collective conscious of the earth, of humanity right now. We're all, I believe, amping up, ramping up, and in change. Well, what change is inevitable? It's here all the time anyway, right?
Mhm.
But I did watch myself the past few months actually, pushing away, not wanting to change. I don't. I have a rigid part of me that doesn't want to change. Yet here I am, put in a position where I have to. I have to move. I have to pack up, go through my stuff again. So that's all. It's inevitable.
Yeah, change is something that we have to continuously adjust to. So the easier we find ourselves able to adjust, the more we can accept it and move with the feelings and be ready for the next step. And that was all about this new moon in Aries and this eclipse as well. If I can speak a little bit about that
Sure.
from what I gather from my astrologers I listen to. It's potent new time, and what it symbolizes is the new moon in Aries, which is the beginning, which is a starter, which is a lot of fire energy, which is a creative change agent. So what we're stepping into is new beginnings, lots of new beginnings. It's the first uh, uh, it's the first sign of the zodiac,
Right.
and it's spring, so it's new beginnings, and death to the old as well. It's like really releasing, really letting go of those older parts, the husk of the shell of the seed that is no longer protecting that new growth. It's like, okay, that's what we're shedding, that's what we're letting go. And with the solar eclipse right now, we're in this portal energy of really being able to manifest our next steps, so that what you dream, what you want to create in your next steps is, I think, fast. I think it's going to be really fast and energized. And we've got this, if you think of an eclipse, the energy kind of comes around and hits the earth from the universe, and there's lots of it. So tonight, here we are just before this total solar eclipse, which is happening as we speak. We can't see it here because it's dark, but other part of the world, it's actually happening, and we are in it. So
We're
just
in the
gently
energy.
allow yourself to receive these potent new energies and be really clear as you can get about what you do want to create.
Right. Intention, our attention. This is the time. This is the time, the new, all this, everything you just said. This is the right time to really strongly set your intention. So I've been thinking about
Mhm.
my intention and where I want to live and how I want to live. And I want to live on a farm with horses and other people and community that I love and care for, grow my own food, have a lot of pasture land around me. So that's what I'm intending. And intentions and also are I understand are different than goals. Intentions are an alignment to where you're going. And it's a different thing. Goals have A, B, C, D, a whole string of linear steps you have to do to get there. But intentions are you sending it out to the universe, and you have a knowing, and you're in the present moment that this is here now, and it's manifesting, coming from the ethers into manifestation, which is to me is different than goals. Um, yeah. So thanks for all of that, Gail. And
Mm.
maybe you want to introduce yourself. And I didn't introduce myself either. So I'm Janie King.
Well, they kind of know you, but go ahead.
I'm Janie King, and New Earth Lifestyles has been my YouTube channel. And before that, it was my TV station that I produced in Manchester, New Hampshire for a year and a half. And then I took it and put it on on YouTube. So New Earth Lifestyles, that name came to me in an instant when the station manager asked me what the name of my TV show was. I hadn't considered what it was. Immediately came in New Earth Lifestyles, because I wanted to talk to people like you and like whoever else we may talk to, or our guides, the angels, whoever we talk to. It's a new way of looking at what's happening in the world, because everything is shifting and changing and growing and higher, coming into higher consciousness. All of I am and you are, and everybody that's on the planet, whether you like it or not, the earth is evolving very rapidly right now, and a new concept of earth, new earth is happening, and it's what people are talking about everywhere. So when I got this name, I think it was 2014 when this name came to me at that TV station in Manchester, New Hampshire. It was so appropriate. And so that's partly why we're doing this right now, why we're coming together to bring life back into this, my YouTube channel. And Gail, you're partnering with me to give me help me and get it going again, and start the conversations more. Bring in all the information that we know as Barbara Brennan graduates, any energy healers that we've been practicing this energy work for 20 something years. So we're pretty
23.
23 years since we graduated.
Class of 2000, wrong.
Yeah, the class of 2000. And the farther away I get from it, the more I'm getting into understanding it more deeply. I'm actually beginning to live it more and really get it, really know it. So that's a beautiful thing. Then we can probably talk about that too. And you are?
Oh yeah. Well, my name's Gail Hannon, and I am a quantum holographic energy healer. And I kind of pulled that one out of the ethers myself a little bit, out of guidance, after being a Brennan healer for 20 some odd years here now, plus a Reiki practitioner and Reiki master prior to that schooling. So I've been in this realm at least 30 years when I, figure on my entrance into deciding and figuring out that, okay, where is my path? And this is it. And I've been wavering in and out, and I, like you, was uprooted several times in the past few years, like many people were during this whole pandemic, etc. And what I want to bring in a little bit tonight right now is about this new moon in Aries, and let you know that I've always, ever since we did that drum circle way back when, after we graduated, or around the time we graduated over in Plymouth, with all those ladies, those women, some of them were from the shelter over there, and we
That's
brought
right. I
some
love
of that to them. but ever since then, I've always wanted to work with you in this some kind of a way. So I'm thankful that you invited me, or we decided, or we chose we were going to do this together. And I really want this collaboration and sharing of our energies, sharing of our wisdom, sharing of our experiences as healers and as elder women with experience about life, that we can really bring forward something interesting and fun, because that's our main goal, is fun and laughter and joy and occasional silliness, that we can do that with lighthearted, to be lighthearted in bringing forward this collective consciousness that we're stepping into, and creating this new world, this new earth that we want to be peaceful and loving and kind. And I'm just going to keep saying peaceful, because for me that's a major focus, and unity and unifying. So with that, I want to just say that, part of the plan was to be doing a little channeling and asking of questions. We'll alternate that depending on where we're at and what the energies are allowing, and hopefully maybe get on it live sometime once we figure it out a little bit, and maybe have some viewer questions in the moment with the live, to ask the questions of our guides that we bring through for the highest good for everybody.
Right.
So that's my manifestation I want to bring forward, that we get to create this over the next few months.
Yay. That's right. Yeah. Thank you for saying all of that, putting everything into that clarity and clear words and fun. Yes. My problem, or what's been going on in my life in the past few months, is too serious. I'm too serious in making things have to be a certain way. And my mind gets ruminating on stuff that doesn't, I don't have to do that. It's not healthy for me. And in fact, I had a meeting with a group that I'm in last week, and that night I'm laying in bed, and guess what? Coyote right outside my window, howling Thursday night. The whole, I thought it sounded like a little boy screaming, "Wah!" and then they started yipping and yelping and cackling, and they were a few hundred feet from maybe 100 feet from my window, and that was a warm night that my windows were open, so it was so clear, and there was a bunch of them, and then they went off into the woods yelping and screaming, and that was such a confirmation for me to lighten up, to have fun. That's what Coyote's about, right? I mean, it's the wise trickster, but also it's the clown and the jokester. So
flip you out of your seriousness, flip you, do a cartwheel and say, hey, wait a minute, is this fun, right?
Right, exactly. So that's how the universe shows up for me with big, that was big. I had a really tough day of a meeting, and then they came in and confirmed for me and told me, lighten up. It's not, life is not here to be serious. You're here, like you just said, we're here to have fun, to enjoy life, to be happy. And I had a happy sticker on my car for a long time, and I realized that I was ignoring it after being there for so long. And now I really need to put a sticky note on my dashboard that says, just be happy, or be happy.
Don't worry, be happy. Yeah, that thing.
Yeah. That song of the year that the guy couldn't believe he got song of the year, because it was such a simple song.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a good one. So what else was in there? Right. So everything you said is right in line with where I want to go. And I'm glad that you're here with me, Gail, to remind me of things, and we're such colleagues. We're such friends. We've known each other for since 1996, right? Which is, I don't know, too late.
23 years, 26 years, 27 years.
Right.
A couple of decades. We don't want to tell them how old we are.
No, we won't do that, but
that's okay. We can, but yeah.
Right. So we went through the whole 4 years together, the same class, Barbara Brennan School of Healing. And at the time, it was I think it was the only 4 years of that she was in, that the school was in upstate New Jersey at the Seasons Resort. in the
Yes.
valley, and it started on Long Island, and then they came to the valley in northern New Jersey, and now the school is in Florida, and it's a Bachelor of Science degree in Brennan Healing Science.
Yeah.
So
Come a long way.
it's come a long way.
Yeah.
And it's all about heart. It's all about love and enjoying life and how and getting well. And the problem for me is getting in touch with my early childhood woundings. That I guess that's what you triggered when you said a minute ago, when you were talking a minute ago, was this also was a time of new beginnings, but it also is taking me into my shadow, and that's one thing that I heard an astrologer say today was
Mhm.
the first primary wound from birth is bubbling up now to be healed. And
Ooh.
believe me, that's what's been bubbling up for me to be healed, that I'm so serious about. And so laughing about it, finding ways to be lighthearted about it and flow through it and work with it, sit with it and let it flow through me will be the best way to do it, rather than this seriousness and I gotta do it.
And I'm gonna dig around and find it and shovel it out and look at it and poke it. Yeah, no.
I
It's
don't
like,
have to.
oh,
It's there.
bring it into the consciousness up here, face to face. You can see it now. It's not back here. It's not hiding behind your fourth chakra in your will center saying, ah, no, you're not coming out. We're going to keep you there as long as possible. So we're going to
That's how
keep
I'm feeling
triggering
too.
you. We're going to keep triggering you and throwing you under the bus and stomping on you when you think you're moving forward. No. So, but bringing it here and saying, hi, shadow. Oh, are you my friend now? And loving it,
Right.
loving that
Bringing
pain
it
and
in.
witnessing the fullness of the experience and just blessing it into acceptance of what a journey I've had. I'm okay now.
Long, strange trip it's been.
Mhm. Yep.
In the words of Jerry Garcia.
Yeah.
But then
Yeah.
that's what everyone's life is, if you want to look at it that way. But well, that's my
He was right. Yeah, he was right.
and it still is. I'm still here. That's the thing. Once you open the door, I'm a Reiki trained practitioner too, but so I'm Reiki 2 level 2 trained. You're a master teacher, but once you go to Reiki and you become attuned, you can't shut that door again. And the same with
No.
Brennan healing. Once you go in and you start working um, with your psychology, with your psychopathy or your masochistic tendencies or your schizoid. That's what I am. My major characterology is schizoid, where I go out, I leave my body.
Yeah.
As you was talking to me the other day about, were you present during this particular thing? And no, I wasn't. I'm not present. That's my biggest defense to really work on, is staying in my body, staying present and listening and taking in. Because if somebody hits my button, certain buttons, I dissociate, I leave, and I don't hear what's going on, and I can't respond appropriately or respond authentically from myself.
Yeah.
So
Well, we all get a little vulnerable, when they hit that tender spot, and
yeah,
so it's a way to stay safe. Yeah, to stay safe and
right. But my
keep
adult
going.
needs to learn that I am safe.
You are safe. Right.
And it's that little baby in me that I need to nurture and hold when that happens, or
Mm-hmm.
every time, whenever I'm working with her, my little inner child, to let her know that she is safe.
To come in the physical. Yeah.
Yeah, in the physical.
Stay physical. Because the body's really important. That's the Barbara talked a lot about the evolution of human consciousness, and I believe when I recall from so many of her lectures was that how it's the process that we're now really entrenched in, of integrating and bringing our spiritualness and our higher powers, our higher being of consciousness, of thought, into our heart, and connecting those two. I do that a lot of work with the infinity, running heart to mind and connecting that so that, yeah, you're not separated with your logic over here and your heart saying, but it hurts, but it hurts. Oh, or you want to play and you want to play, but the mind says no time for play, no time for play. You know, that connection where, yeah, you can have both, just have play at work. It's okay. You can do it. It's possible. But to then bring it into the physical and leave, and so that the whole being is ignited in light, ignited with the fire, the Aries fire of new beginning. Here we are in the Christ consciousness, that spark of becoming fully light being, not just physical body, mind, physical heart, whatever, you know, feelings. No, it's all one giant orb of beauty. And we get to have this once in, 10 millennia or even longer, who knows, we don't know,
Yeah.
to be engaging in it on a daily basis. So paying attention to those parts like you are, and really, working that muscle is it gets us there. So we
Yeah.
want more people to be okay with that. We want, because it's going to happen to everybody no matter what, I think. And so we're here to help guide and teach and share, so you're not scared and zipping out or falling apart. Sometimes you fall apart.
Right.
And there's also that point of grief where there's so much loss that, okay, how do you sustain yourself in that? Because you're losing a whole stream of life that you thought was going to stay in a particular form. With all these changes, there's no way it could.
Right. And I think that's what the astrologers are talking about too, is some of the changes that are going to be happening from now until November, or from now till July, and then from now until November, and then all the way through to next year, 2024. They're saying a lot of them will be physical changes that we don't know what they are really yet. I guess I'm ready for it. I mean, I was ready. I can't say I was ready for the pandemic, but I was ready when I moved out of my apartment and drove around the country for a couple of years and didn't have a home per se until I landed here. And this has been a godsend to be here now. The next phase, and it's interesting that my time of getting ready to leave here is on this auspicious new moon eclipse energy of big stuff, big changes. Aries fire change, and then it moves into Taurus. Taurus isn't, I guess, not mutable, it's strong, like bull.
Fixed. Yeah, it's fixed.
So just I don't really know that much about astrology, but I'm starting to pick up on some of the things that are affecting my life and the life of the planet, because we are in the cosmos with all these constellations of stars and energies, and I believe other worlds, even though they're not known to us. I believe they are known to us, but they're not in the same form that we're in. They're just in a different etheric, lighter form that's not this. I mean, the physical body is so dense and heavy and bull, that we're looking out, and now, I guess I changed the subject a bit. We're looking out into the cosmos for people like us, and we're not going to find them because we're so dense. Everything else out there is lighter, or not. I mean, I don't know that, but
Variations. Yeah.
Variations. I know the extraterrestrials that have been communicated with are light beings, and in order to connect with them and see them, you have to be on a higher level of light, I believe, to interact. But so there are other life forms out there, and I don't know how I got off on that tangent, but I did.
Well, you're bringing up the point of frequency, right? And that as we evolve, yeah, we are changing our bodies and our lives through vibration and frequency. And I think that is what's going to happen, is as we, start, shaking, rocking and rolling, shaking and, shifting, that the body will change too.
Yeah. But I guess I got to get on that because of the physical things are changing. And I also heard from an astrologer that we may start getting younger and younger. I said, yay for that. So the
Yeah, I feel
syllables,
that. I
everything
feel
is,
that.
you know, the
I
energy
do.
is really going to be different, or is different. It's
Mhm.
shifting so fast. It's a beautiful thing. I feel so fortunate to live here in this where I live in New Hampshire, and clean air, pretty clean water, stable earth. Um, Pretty much
Yeah.
can come and go as I please. I'm pretty free here, comparatively speaking. So I'm just feeling like I live in paradise. I'm so grateful. So making a move out of here to I don't know where is not such a big thing to me, I guess.
Yeah, well, you'll be mostly local, I hope. Don't go too far.
I
But
hope.
even if you do, I'll come visit
Great.
because you came to visit me.
I did. I did. And
Mhm.
I have let's see, I have three new drum building workshops scheduled out into end of August, and I also have one that I'm planning for September. So I'll have to be around in New England to facilitate those.
Good, good. Yeah, that's the other thing, I want to uh, remind you of in terms of sometimes it feels overwhelming, all the changes that we can't always manage it, but you like to play. You get that drum going, you get the songs going, you get the people moving and dancing. And that to me is how you hold yourself in a big way. I mean, like expanded, big, whole mama bear sort of way. And or maybe
Yes,
mama turtle because you get the turtle, big tortoise on there, right? Just
Mother Earth.
walking around, walking slowly around with everybody, or swimming fast. It can go either way. So I want to just remind you of that for yourself as you keep stepping into the world and letting this, these events where you're kind of being prompted to shift gears and relocate to be a steady thing, that it is an anchor that you've had right along. And it's a beautiful connection that you make with a lot of people, with the drums, with the animals, and the songs and the sacredness that you bring. So I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful that you would always be offering that so I could show up and do it with you.
Yeah, play. We like to play
We
together.
like to play the drum and sing and do that.
Yeah,
Get expanded that way because it feels
yeah,
really good. Feels
it
really
does.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's how I live. I get in my essence when I facilitate. Well, the drumming circles
Mm.
really expand me so that I start becoming the coyote. I start becoming the
Mhm.
clown, and letting whatever flows up to flow up, and joking or making noise, making the howl of the coyote or the wolf, or everyone making noise, letting their body express through the sound of the drum, through the sound of the voice, through the sound of our energy field.
Mhm.
Yeah, to me, well, I get high, so my pure essence does flow out, and when that happens for me, I'm in bliss. I'm
Right.
in bliss.
Yeah.
And what a place to be. And so that happens to me when I am facilitating a drum circle. And in the drum building workshops, they're a lot more physically demanding. So I have a lot more thought and mind work going into making sure that everyone's drum is, they're going along with the procedure of how to do it. So I, I am in bliss when I leave there, but it's a different energy, a different energy.
Would you say one feels like the first one, the creation of the sacred circle, etc., is a little more feminine in terms of just being in the creative force in a more spiritual way, and then or flowing way, and the drum building workshop is more masculine, where you are actually building something, a physical object, and there are, you know, precise steps that you have to, pre-
Yeah.
create that
Yeah.
that you do.
Well, Gail, I never looked at it that way. So thank you for bringing that that comparison and masculine and feminine, but it, as you're saying it, it does feel like that.
Mm.
Precisely because the drum building, you're using your logical mind to follow steps to create an item at the end. Even though it's a creative process, it also is
Mhm.
following directions and going in a specific order. And
Plus you get those tools, you know, you get the hammer and you get the nail.
Right.
And you get the,
yeah, we're using tools, knives, dangerous knives, carving, and yeah, the
Yeah.
hammer and the hole punch, and a lot of we're using tools. So it's masculine in that way. I
a little
think.
more masculine. We could,
Yeah.
you could put it there if you wanted to.
Yeah,
But
you could, and the drum circle is just freeing and expressive, and going with the flow of being in the circle. Yeah.
Mm.
So yeah, I
Cool.
suppose you could say that that's a sort of what it's about.
Yeah.
Tell me a
And
little bit about your dowsing and the pendulums that you work with. I always find that fascinating. Oh, which pendulum?
This is my newest friend, and it's a pendulum. It's got an amethyst here, and there's a knob here, and within the knob there's a piece of mistletoe. So I'm using this one to help people with cancer, as well as protection. And look, see, he wants to say hello. Just started going.
Is
And
it a he? Is it
and,
masculine?
well, his name's Merlin. Yeah, so
Oh.
we'll give him a male tone here. And I have different ones. I have a female one that's similar, but she's over there. Well, what I like to do is teach people how to use them, and for healing practice, I do sell them. And there are many different ones. I wasn't prepared to give show and tell here with that, but on my website, if you go to my YouTube channel, I have a couple of demonstrations there. It's my name, Gail Hannan, GAYLEHANNAN. And there are, a couple of demonstrations I have with the Spellbreaker, which is really good at clearing out old hexes, curses, stuff from past lives on different realms, different dimensions. That one's a really powerful tool. That when you're doing energy work, you often will find old stuff from past lives, or even things people throw at you, astral objects that get clear out. And there are many layers, and it can take effort, like a lot of effort. Whereas so what the Spellbreaker does is it rotates out on all dimensions and just kind of cleans them out. And that actually, it's another, like mistletoe is a little bit druid, and of course Merlin was a druid, and that the wood out of that made of which that pendulum is made of is a druid wood. So I'm like, oh well,
The spellbinder, you mean?
Yeah, the Spellbreaker.
Or breaker?
Not a binder.
Okay.
Breaker.
Spellbreaker.
We're breaking up all that stuff that is keeping us bound up, that is keeping us trapped in old patterns. And that's what I work with people a lot. It's like, we're breaking out of old patterns. We're breaking out of these loops that we get stuck in. And we're like, why am I keep repeating this same behavior? These same people keep coming in my life that are toxic, that don't really, see me who I am. All of these things that people experience. Like, we break that stuff up and bring in new, clear, intentional next steps to create in your life. So I work with people to get really clear about that through asking questions and just kind of touching on things that they say that kind of hit a little spark with me. It's like, okay, let's follow that little part, because there's something about it to unravel, so that the client will go a little deeper and understand what might be hidden in shadow, that's there for them to be revealed that day. So that's it. But I'm planning to do some online classes with the pendulums to show people how to use them, because they're really helpful and easy to use, especially if you already have some dowsing experience. I don't know that I would be teaching it from start to finish. If you have some kinesiology experience, then that would be good. I don't have a date yet when I'm going to do it, but maybe next month.
Nice. Excellent.
Yeah.
So when you're working with people, do you do you yourself feel that they've got a spell on them or something on them, or is that part of the discussion that you go through before you work on them? Something keys you into to follow that thread that might take you there?
Yeah, oftentimes, let me put it like this. There aren't too many people that don't have them on them. Because it can be as simple as somebody cursing you by saying, "Oh, that son of a bitch," or that lady, that gossip over there, simple things like that are curses, are spells, because our words, every word can be a spell. So that's why they call it spelling, people. That's why. So we have to be conscious and catch ourselves of, okay, what harm am I doing? I'll never forget. I'll never forget. Here's a little card. See, it's got like an arrow on there and
Yep.
a key heart.
Yep.
Heart with a key. And I'll never forget, in one of our classes with Barbara, she said, it's like people throw darts, or when they say something, you can be, miles and miles on the other side of the world, but it's directed at you. It is an arrow going to you. And I would sometimes see, shards in people's field that would need to be cleared. So yeah, I do pick up on it. It's not usually specific, like, oh, this came from so-and-so and such as such. It's usually more vague. But once it's cleared, it doesn't matter, because you're free of it.
Mm-hmm.
You're free of it. So it doesn't matter necessarily the source. Sometimes it does, but most of the time you just clear it. Once you know it's there, gone, life goes on. You get to build with clean slate.
Clean slate energy.
Yeah.
And so in your experience, does the spell ever come back?
It could. If you have that person active in your life, then sure. If you're not saying no to it, or to that person, if they're, still traumatizing you, still abusing you, swearing at you, whatever, yelling at you, whatever they do, if that's still happening in your life, then yeah, that can come back. But I haven't found that it does. I think I give it a pretty good cleansing, because I am forceful. When I'm clearing it, I'm like, you get out, you don't come back. And that fortitude, no, not allowed here. So I haven't found that it can come back. At least it has been reported to me that it has. So I'll leave it with that.
It's good to know. Thank you for the good work.
Yeah.
With
Thank you.
With people.
Thank you. It's a gift I get to have. It's a gift I get to have with working with people.
Yeah, it feels good. I know when my thing excuse me, right now is, I think, just being present with people and being myself, and lighthearted, and not not that serious one that's and have the button pushed, my buttons pushed, but be lighthearted and easygoing. And I just went to a gathering down in Tennessee a couple weeks ago, and I was just in bliss meeting all these brand new people, and because they were all younger than me, but I realized, I recognized how much fun I was having just being myself, and being in my power, being grounded, and not being afraid to speak with people, which is the way I used to be. I used to really be really shy and introverted, and not know what to say, and hide from people. And this event, I felt like I bloomed. I don't know why. Maybe the land, and the people were very inviting and family oriented. But I recognized myself as having a fabulous time for 3 days with beautiful people at this sanctuary summit, where there was music at night. I was selling my drums, and there were workshops during the day, a workshop on death and dying, another workshop on midwifery, and a lot of other really nice.
Well, it was at that famous place, right? The sanctuary, was it called? Or the farm? The farm
in Tennessee. It's one of the earliest intentional
Yeah.
communities. It's still thriving.
Yeah, Ida May was one of the founding people, I think.
Yes.
Who was she's a well-known midwife. Yeah.
Yes, she's written a few books, and when I came back, some of my friends happened to have her books, so I was amazed.
I read her book. Yeah, I did.
Right. Yes, it was all, that was part of the thing. The founding aspects of it was home births, birthing,
Mm,
birthing your child at home naturally and normally, and that's a normal thing that our society has been moved away from with the medical model. And I'm getting involved in it with a group that I'm a part of, a beautiful community that we're building, learning and being with people, with young people that are pregnant. And I just 6 weeks ago or so, almost 7 weeks, I participated in a birthing, a home birth. It was such a beautiful experience. And my participation was being outside around the fire drumming, keeping the drum going with a group of people that were all there to do the same thing as me, just holding space, not just holding space, and sending our love and our support to the mom and dad and the midwives that were attending this home birth. And it was the most beautiful experience, touched me deeply.
mm,
So I really am becoming more and more appreciative of home birthing, of the natural process of this human body, of the female body, and the natural process of the inborn soul knowing how to birth itself. And
yeah.
the mother knows how to. Our body knows these things, even but we've been programmed to believe that we don't know. We've been programmed to believe that we need to go into the hospital and have procedures and drugs and whatever they do, whereas that's what the farm was based on, is just having support by the women of the community to birth at home.
Yeah.
And so being attended by caring, loving people, loving women. And also I'm learning so much about the postpartum and the
Yeah.
afterbirth. And
That's important.
I never knew that the placenta has so much rich, I think oxytocin, or it
Mm,
has such rich nutrients that is important for the mother to ingest. And I guess you can dry it and encapsulate it as one way of ingesting it, or some people make soup with it. I know it sounds in this Western world kind of, well, I'm not going to say that, but anyway, I didn't know that all those nutrients that are in the placenta that the mother then ingests are the nutrients she needs so that she doesn't get depressed.
ah,
They're antidepressant, naturally antidepressants that her own body made.
ah.
And by
So it's a perfect match.
that's the miracle of life. That's just, the more I learn about it, the more I'm
Mm,
in awe of the physical body. Well, in this case, the feminine body, and how it's miraculously God made us to do all these things naturally. and
yeah.
and the Western culture, the medical culture, just wants to take that away so that we can pay money to have something else done that makes us worse, so we can pay more money for antidepressants and therapy, and who knows what else.
The
um
list goes on. Yeah, it's a
the list goes
business.
on. So yeah, so that's what the farm is based on, and I'm getting more and deeply involved in it in my life, and the magic is just feeding me. Being in it is feeding me, nurturing my psyche, nurturing my heart, nurturing my soul, to learn these things and to be with these beautiful people that are teaching me that, and learning about themselves and doing it, actually having home births, and having happier babies, more healthy babies, because there's no intervention by drugs or forceps, or other
Yeah,
things,
surgical procedures. Yeah.
surgical procedures,
I mean,
right?
sometimes it's required, but
Right.
not as much as you might think.
Well, my understanding is 95% of births are natural,
Mm,
have no issues. I forget the words for that, but they're not emergency breach, I guess is one of the words. 95% of births they're just natural and normal, or they could be,
mhm.
but the medical
So it
area.
sounds like you are experiencing and creating uh, a variety of new earth lifestyles. uh, we touched on a bunch of topics tonight, and I hope we can do this again soon.
I hope so too. I
I
hope
mean,
so
going
too.
to the farm, going to the woods, going to the celestial, going within, going to the shadow of the heart, you know,
Yeah,
playing with the pendulums and the drums. I mean, we covered a lot, I think, tonight
we
as a
did.
first start.
Yeah, well, this is our breaking open again the doors of New Earth lifestyle. So thank you, Gail, for helping me initiating this and
Yeah,
yeah, bringing it in on this auspicious day of new beginnings, new
new
intentions.
beginnings.
Yay!
Right, right.
Yay! And I just want to say one more thing about the guidance and following my soul, following your soul. I'm focused more on following the next step, not planning the next step. And that's how I've come into these beautiful communities with these young people and these people that are doing home births, or they've told me about going down to the farm, or
Mm,
it's just letting the universe come in and show me the way is, and you're doing this as well, is the new earth lifestyle for me. It's the new way, it's the new way of being. It's backing off and allowing and making room for your soul's next step to guide you simply by learning your guidance, learning what it feels like to go to hear or to know or to see what direction you're being called to go in that makes you happy, that makes
yeah,
you feel good, that makes you want to be
blissful,
alive. What?
blissful.
Blissful. Yeah. That's what we are here, because we are here to be happy.
Yeah,
So thanks for helping to initiate this. And we did
yeah,
cover a few things.
yeah. And I kind of want to touch on what you just said. Uh, what you're describing is sounds to me like following your intention, or putting out, declaring your intention, and then waiting for it to show up and keep going toward it, rather than, all right, I have to have the goal and these are the steps I have to take to get there. It's like that doesn't work anymore. The steps toward a goal might work for some, but for those of us that are on the unity consciousness path, not as much. That is an old thing that worked a lot for many years, generations, and now it's like, okay, what are my intentions? What is my soul's journey? And here I go. Show me the way.
And part of the key is to stop and do
Mhm.
nothing. And that's hard.
Mm,
That is hard. Stop and rest and breathe. Go sit in the sun. Go take a walk in the woods.
and
Lay on your
listen,
bed, lay on your couch, read a book,
and listen.
and things will come in. And you can do it through your dreams as well.
Mhm.
Ask for clarity of ask to remember your dreams and keep a dream journal. We can talk about that another time.
Yeah, that could be a whole show.
Yeah. And I just wanted to say, when I look back at my life, I was an accountant for 25 years and I struggled with time management and goal setting all my life. And I just realized not, I'm a natural intender, not a natural goal setter. I'm a natural go with the flow and let it show up person. And for
Yeah.
me, that's worked, because I've always been struggling and angry and pushing, trying to get things done, and it was always hard.
You were going against your natural inclination,
Right, I guess.
and that's probably why it was difficult, because it wasn't natural for you. It was the outer world saying, come in this box, this is how you do it. And you're like, I don't fit in there. Poof.
Right.
I'll try, but I don't like it.
Yeah, this is what you're supposed to do, so I'm trying to fit in there, but
Yeah.
no supposed tos anymore. There is no supposed tos. Don't follow your own bliss, follow your own heart. And in order to do that, you have to stop and listen, be quiet,
Yeah. And discover yourself.
and discover
And
yourself.
discover yourself, because once you sort of figure out that doesn't work for me, and put it in the box and throw away the key, then you can discover what does work for you. If you
Right.
break out of the constructs of the control issues that try to keep everybody doing the same thing at the same time.
Right.
It doesn't, it's
That's
not
what's
who we
happening.
are.
We're all
It's
breaking
not
out of
who
this
we are.
little box of everybody going to work at 8 and coming home at 5 and having a few cocktails and going to bed and getting up and doing it again. And I
Yeah,
lived it, so I know
time's up.
that
Time's up
robot.
on that clock.
Time's up for me on that clock. I couldn't
Mm.
go back there if I tried. I thought about looking for a job, part-time job, and I just having to go somewhere at the same time every week. Just
Yeah.
can't do that.
Yeah.
And my drum building workshops are my passion and had giving the animals new life. We can talk about that another time too.
Hmm.
Yeah, grateful for all this, Gail.
Yes, thank you. And I guess we'll be signing off tonight. And I look forward to coming back again in the very near future.
Right. And so Gail is gailhannon.com.
Mm-hmm.
I'll spell GAYLEHANNAN.com. And my website is JaneEKingHeartHealer.com.
Heart healer. Mm.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
if anyone out there has any questions, please post them and we'll see if we can answer them next time. Or any desires for something that you'd like to know about in the new earth lifestyle or in the upcoming, the next, well, wherever you are in the moment.
Yeah.
This is the only moment we have.
Bring it in. The guides love questions.
They do. So I'm Janie King and you are.
I'm Gail Hannon.
Until next time,
Until next time.
be well.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh. All right.